We're diving deep into the crypt of comic book chaos, where the green-skinned behemoth the Hulk and the fanged fiend Dracula crossed paths in an animated extravaganza known as Marvel's Avengers Assemble, circa 2013. Dracula, the ultimate vampire extraordinaire, sinking his teeth into the Hulk's emerald flesh, chomping down on that gamma-irradiated goodness. Can you believe it? Well, believe it, folks. The result? A temporary transformation that's equal parts monstrous and comical. Dracula, for a brief moment, became a Hulk vampire. And our beloved Hulk, well, he got a taste of the vampiric life too. But before you think we plunged into some bizarre alternate universe, fear not. It's all part of the same Marvel universe we know and love. You see, Hulk's gamma-infused resilience didn't take kindly to Dracula's attempts to turn him into the undead. As for Dracula's dreams of becoming the greatest vampire on the block, well, they were short-lived too. In this episode, we're going to look at the lesser-known tale of this vampiric Hulk. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Hulk, make me a hole.
Marvel's Avengers Assemble. This is the cryptic tale of Vlad Dracula, the undisputed heavyweight champion of all vampires. This fanged monarch has the vampire nation wrapped around his bony, blood-sucking finger for centuries. But he played the long game, keeping his true identity hidden from humanity, letting them think he was nothing more than the bedtime story. Dracula, the original bloodsucker, gets an invitation from none other than Iron Skull himself, the guy with a skull-themed wardrobe. Iron Skull wanted to assemble a villain dream team to take down the Avengers and rule the world, and Dracula was on his speed dial. But Dracula decided to spice things up a bit. He got his fangs on the Black Widow and turned her into a vampire. Then he sent her, along with a gang of vampires, to crash Stark Tower, home base of the Avengers. Of course, the Avengers weren't going down without a fight. They busted out some UV lights, and those vampires got a little more crispy than they bargained for. And then, Captain America, ever the eagle-eyed hero, unveiled the real Black Widow from her vamp disguise. That's when things got chilling. Dracula, that cunning bloodsucker, decided to chat it up through Black Widow, offering her life in exchange for Captain America's. But Cap wasn't having it. He proposed a little road trip to Transylvania, the land of vampires, to track down the vamp responsible for Black Widow's makeover. Red Skull, with his obsession for world domination, knew that the Avengers were hot on Dracula's trail. He grinned like the cat who got the canary, telling Dracula that he'd finally get what he'd been denied for thousands of years. Transylvania, where the Hulk gets vampirized. The Avengers have just landed in the land of legends, Transylvania, and who should make the grand entrance but the man, or should I say the vampire of the hour, Dracula himself. He's like the Count Dracula you read about in the creepiest of bedtime stories, only with a dash of supervillain flair. Now, Dracula's got a bone to pick with Captain America, or should I say a blood feud. He's got this wild idea that his new enemy isn't the Avengers, but the whole human race, because apparently they've been giving his vampire kingdom some serious grief. I mean, who knew? Dracula wants to get his hands on the super soldier serum, which just so happens to be coursing through Cap's veins. He figures a sip of that serum, and he'll be a powerhouse, ready to wipe out Hydra and anyone else who dares to cross his path. But soon, the Avengers crash the party. Things go from bad to batty in a hurry. Dracula decides to go straight for the green machine, the Hulk. And what happens next? Well, hold on to your garlic, because Dracula sucks the Hulk's blood and becomes a green, mean, vampire Hulk version of himself. But that's not all. The Hulk, in return, becomes a vampire version of himself. Now, imagine the chaos. Vampire Hulk goes berserk, taking a bite out of the Avengers like their midnight snacks. And in the other corner, it's a Hulkified Dracula, snatching Captain America for a little pre-dinner conversation. But here's where things get interesting. Turns out, gamma radiation, the stuff that makes the Hulk tick, is like kryptonite to vampires. Dracula starts sizzling like a vampire at a beach party. Realizing that gamma radiation is like sunlight to his undead self, Hulk, ever the surprise package, returns to his usual smashing self, and Dracula is left scratching his pointy head. He couldn't handle the green machine's gamma-charged blood, and he regresses back to good old Dracula. Hulk and the Agents of Smash. The leader, that big-brain baddie, gets his mitts on none other than Dr. Doom's time belt. Yeah, the one that lets you zip through history like it's a Netflix binge session. His grand plan? To hop back in time and make the Hulk a thing of the past. But the Hulk, being the not-so-green genius that he is, manages to snag a spare time belt and falls leader into the temporal abyss. And here's the kicker. They're not just duking it out in the past for kicks. Nope. Every punch they throw, every step they take in that historical playground, it's a a game of time travel Jenga. Change something in the past, and it's like shaking up a snow globe in the present. Now, where do they end up? Surprise, surprise, it's London. In the 1890s, Hulk's standing there, all baffled, wondering why on earth the leader would pick such a random time and place. But the leader, he's got big plans, you see. He wants to team up with someone as devious as himself. And who's better than the Count of Creepiness himself, Count Dracula. And just like that, Count Dracula pops out of the shadows, cape and all, ready to throw down. Hulk's probably thinking, why London? Why vampires? But the leader's got a master plan brewing. He figures teaming up with Dracula, the OG vampire, is a match made in supervillain heaven. So, with a flourish of his cape, Dracula goes on the attack, taking a bite out of Hulk. While his fanged minions keep Hulk busy, the leader's making his pitch to the Count. The leader pulls out the big guns, offering Dracula the signs of the future, the kind that let him strut around in the sun without turning into crispy Count Chocula. Now, while all this timey-wimey craziness is going down in the past, back in the present, things are going batty. Everyone's turning into vampires. The Smash agents are battling regular folks who've gone full-on vampire mode. It's a blood-sucking bonanza in the modern world. New allies and the mystery of the mist. Hulk, the Jade Giant, stumbles upon something straight out of Mary Shelley's nightmares. But with a twist, of course. It's not your average Frankenstein's monster. It's Hulkified Frankenstein, a creation of none other than Dr. Victor Frankenstein himself. Hulk, being the softy that he is, well, relatively speaking, tries to reason with the undead behemoth. But Frankenstein, he's got that classic loner vibe going on. He's all, I'm a misunderstood monster, leave me be. However, it doesn't take long for the Hulk to work his persuasive magic. Frankenstein's soon convinced that joining forces with the Hulk is a smashing idea, and they set out on a mission to catch the leader. As our monster duo makes their way to the leader's lair, they stumble upon a whole supernatural menagerie. First up, it's the werewolf by night, also known as Jack Russell. He's a victim of an ancient family curse, and he's got some serious wolfy issues to deal with. And then there's Nkantu, the living mummy, a mummified Egyptian mystic who once ruled all of Egypt. Now, back in the present day, the Smash agents have climbed a tower as the city's blanketed in thick green mist. This mist is like vampire VIP status. It lets them strut around in the daylight without breaking a sweat. But our agents aren't having it. They realize the source of this vampy fog is none other than Dracula's castle spires. So, they hatch a plan to stop the smoke show and let the sun shine down on these bloodsuckers. Now, back to Victorian London, where Hulk and his motley crew of supernatural buddies are in quite a predicament. They're surrounded by Dracula's minions, and their mission is simple: destroy the furnace that's churning out that pesky green mist, thanks to the leader's twisted genius. And what does Hulk do best? He smashes that furnace into oblivion. But hold on to your stakes, folks, because the misty mayhem isn't over just yet. Hulk spots Dracula's train chugging along, spewing out that same green fog all over London. Count Hulkula. It's Hulk, the not-so-jolly green giant, leaping onto Dracula's Vampire Express train. But guess who's on board? It's the leader, and he's not exactly in charge anymore. Nope, he's been possessed, and now he's the Count's right-hand man, ready to do his undead bidding. And the leader reveals that he's cooked up a gamma-resistant strain of the vampire virus. You know, just in case Dracula and the Hulk wanted to team up for a monstrous mashup without any resistance. Quick as a vampire bat, Dracula shoots a dart laced with the new virus at the Hulk. Now, back in the present day, our trusty Smash agents are armed to the fangs with vampire-killing kits, and they're marching towards Dracula's castle. But before they can say wooden stake, a monstrous shadow jumps in front of them. It's the Vampire Hulk. Or should we say, Lord Hulk, the Dark Master of the world. Looks like the leader's virus from the past did a number on him. Or did it? Back on the Gothic train, Hulk's battling that pesky virus in his veins, and his team of monsters burst in like the cavalry. They're all in this together, thanks to Hulk helping them escape their own monster-sized problems. Summoning every ounce of courage and a little gamma muscle, Hulk unleashes his thunderclap. The thick smoke that's been choking London is blown away, and the sun shines through. Turns out, that virus was no match for sunlight. It was gamma resistant, but not solar proof. Hulk's back on his feet, and he's not alone. His band of monsters stands with him. They grab Count Dracula, toss him into the sun like he's an ant under a magnifying glass, and poof, he goes up in smoke. Now, back to the present day. Our Smash agents are duking it out with Lord Hulk, and things aren't looking too rosy. But one of them, with a silver dagger and lightning-quick reflexes, tosses it at Lord Hulk. He dodges it like a champ, but that dagger hits the gamma engine that's been churning out the green smoke. A shockwave ripples through the sky, clearing away the dark clouds and turning everyone back into regular humans. And just like that, Lord Hulk vanishes, like he never existed, all thanks to the efforts of our Hulk and his monster squad from the past. Hulk, the Vampire King, the ultimate comics Avenger. Meet Nerd Hulk, a clone created by none other than Tony Stark's brainy big brother, Gregory. Now, he might not be the real Hulk, but he's got brains and brawn. Nerd Hulk isn't your typical green behemoth. He's a hyper-intellectual powerhouse, and he owes his existence to some stem cells swiped from the original Hulk, Bruce Banner. This whole Nerd Hulk saga dates back to a rivalry for the ages between Tony Stark and his older, equally brilliant brother. You see, Gregory wasn't content with just playing second fiddle to Tony's superhero antics. Oh no, he wanted to do one-up his little bro, and he aimed to do it in style. So, Gregory cooked up a plan to create his own super team, one that would not only rival the mighty Ultimates, but in his mind, improve upon them in every conceivable way, and thus, Nerd Hulk was born, or more accurately, cloned into existence. Now, Nerd Hulk, with his refined tastes and penchant for looking dignified, embarked on his first combat mission, but Nerd Hulk's debut didn't exactly go as planned. He found himself going toe-to-toe with the one and only Captain America, and guess what happened? Cap, even when massively outnumbered by Nerd Hulk's super team, handed our eloquent behemoth a major whooping. As he put Nerd Hulk down, Captain America didn't mince words. He straight up called Nerd Hulk's creators idiots. Ouch. And that, my friends, set the tone for Nerd Hulk's peculiar existence, a Hulk who is more often bullied than beastly. Turning into a vampire. Later, a sudden vampire outbreak descended upon him, turning Nerd Hulk into a creature of the night. And who did he pledge his undead loyalty to? A mysterious vampire lord only known as Anthony. Now, this vampiric twist proved to be Nerd Hulk's swan song story arc. With his newfound vampiric powers, he became a dominant player, amping up his lethality to insane levels. But as they say, great power comes at a price. And in this case, it was his very soul that paid the toll. Nerd Hulk went on a rampage, turning Stick and Daredevil to the dark side, and even slaying Perun, the Thor-like god of storm, thunder, and lightning. But as always, when the Marvel Universe hits the fan, who you gonna call? Captain America, of course. Cap, with his unshakable tactical mind, faced off against the vampiric Nerd Hulk. Nerd Hulk, leading his undead minions, launched a full-scale assault on the Triskelion, S.H.I.E.L.D.'s island headquarters. It was a high-stakes showdown with the fate of superhuman resources, and maybe even the world hanging in the balance. But Captain America, always the one with the trick up his star-spangled sleeve, got his hand on Perun's hammer. And what did that bad boy do? Well, among other things, it had the power of teleportation. In a flash of lightning, Cap whisked the entire Triskelion and all its occupants on a whirlwind road trip across the planet. Suddenly, they found themselves in sunny Iran, where it was daylight. And you know what vampires hate? Yup, daylight. The tables turned. The superheroes gained the upper hand against the night-loving horde, and Cap, with a mighty swing of his hammer, executed Nerd Hulk.
That looks worse.
Marvelous verdict. In the world of Marvel history, the tale of the Vampire Hulk stands as a unique and captivating character. This incarnation of our green behemoth took us on a wild and blood-soaked ride, blending science fiction with the supernatural in a way only comics can achieve. The story of Vampire Hulk serves as a reflection of the ever-evolving, boundary-pushing nature of comic book storytelling. It's a reminder that within the pages of these colorful narratives, the most unexpected and fantastical scenarios can come to life, capturing the imagination of readers and leaving a lasting legacy in the rich world of superhero lore. Hope you enjoyed this one. See you around, and if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.